Hi folks, it's Metal Trades again. Today we're talking to
Zach Myers
and
Barry Kerch
from Shinedown. Yeah, hi guys. Hello. Thanks for taking the time for the interview. Nice to have you here. So, you're in your first European tour in a long time now. How's it going?
We don't even know yet. This is actually the first show that we've done in 16 months. So we're really excited. Glad to be over here. It's been too long since we've been in Europe and in Germany. So we're really excited to get to play again.
What expectations for the tour?
I hope it to go well. I was doing an interview earlier and I was talking about how we're kind of thankful that the European and the UK audience have caught on to us fast. I mean, because we've seen bands over here humping it for a long time, and it's like we're back playing the same venues that when Disturbed brought us over the first time. So we're just really lucky. So I have all the expectations in the world because I think Europe and the UK are just going to rule it. So.
Sounds great. So are there any major differences maybe between the European crowds and the American ones, or?
Yeah, there's huge differences. I think Europeans as a whole, they care about music and all styles of music.
And the Americans don't?
I mean, they like music, but they tend to stick to what they listen to. If you're a hip-hop fan, you only listen to hip-hop. If you're a rock fan, you only listen to rock, and metal only listens to metal, and they're really jaded. And we've noticed over here in Europe that even the big festivals, there'll be all sorts of great music from different genres, and it's all appreciated. And I really respect that, and it's kind of fun to see that in the audiences.
Maybe any places you're especially looking forward to see on this tour?
I mean, we love Germany. We don't have a lot of days off on this tour, which normally we do because we're just kind of, bam, bam, bam while we're here. But love Hamburg, love Berlin, which I don't know. Are we playing? We are playing Berlin. Yeah. So and then Scotland, of course. Looking forward to Scotland, big time.
So a lot of fans complained about that you haven't been here in Europe for a lot of years. How long will they have to wait for the next tour?
We'll be here for the festivals, I believe. In June, I guess. Usually it's around June that the festivals are, so we'll be back sooner than they think. Yeah. We'll be back real soon.
Your new album, Amaryllis, is scheduled to be released in March. Still, you're already now in February on tour. It might seem a bit odd to some fans that you're doing a tour before the actual album is out. How did this come?
It was time for us to tour. We wanted to try out some of the new songs on a tour, and we wanted to kick it off in Europe because it had been so long since we've been here, and we just love the European fans and love being over here. So it just seemed natural for us to start it here, and it just so happened that the album's not coming out till later, but the first single's out, so we can at least start introducing ourselves again and kind of do this gig as a, hey, we're back, we're happy to see you, and then when we come back in later this year, we can play more of the new stuff and then have the record as a sport.
That's some kind of trial, playing songs that fans most probably don't have heard before, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't heard. They've heard one of them, but we're doing two more that no one's heard. But I think that's what's actually great about starting in Europe, is because over here you guys are so acceptable to anything. You know what I mean? That's why fans are so hardcore here and just kind of just are such music lovers compared to the States, which we love our fans in the States, but I think the States have made fans jaded, and over here they're not, and it's great. So I think the new stuff will go over really well here. So it's almost better to start with the new stuff here than it is over there, I think.
In the description of the album, Brent said that the album had a few points. He said the album would have to show the musical growth within the band over the years. Where would you see this growth?
I think you'll see it in the songwriting. I think the songs are more mature, not in a bad way, but they're just are crafted better. And also as musicians, we've all gotten better at our instruments. It's been 10 years of Shinedown, 11 years of Shinedown. You would hope we got better at our instruments. I still practice, I still take lessons just to improve myself and become a better drummer, and that shows on every time you record. Sound of Madness was recorded 4.5 years ago now. I would hope in 4.5 years I've become a better player, and I think that stands for all of us as well. We'd be better players, better songwriters, and you're going to hear that in the music. The music changes as we grow, so does the music.
Still, you're quite young band with 10 years in business, considering you're already touring the world. How is it for you personally to manage these professional lives and your personal lives when you're far away from home for a long time?
Understanding families, I think. I think we have very understanding families. Barry's married and Eric's married and Barry's got a kid and Brent's got a kid. So, it's just having that love from home, I think, honestly keeps us out here. I know that some of us, if we, if we had wives or families that weren't understanding, it'd be a lot harder than it is. Plus, I mean, we're closer now than we ever were, so that helps out a lot too, I think, you know.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, for us, it's having that support system back home is great, and you do miss your family. I mean, tomorrow is my 10th wedding anniversary, and I'll be on the road, and she'll be home. You know, I missed my daughter's first birthday because we were in rehearsals. That's just part of what we do. And you get used to it. But we love being on the road. We love touring. We love seeing the fans. We love seeing the world. And yeah, Shinedown's only been around for 10 years, but we've been doing this our whole lives. I've been playing in bars since I was 13 years old, playing drums for 28 years or so now. So it's a love affair, and you have to stick to it and keep working to be where we're at now, and we want to be bigger. So we're going to keep getting on the road because rock bands earn their way by touring. It's not like other types of music where you can just put a song out there and maybe play a show occasionally and you still do well. Rock bands have to tour, and it's what we're good at.
In your band history, have there been any major setbacks for you personally that were maybe most disturbing for you, or anything that were very hard for you to get by?
There was a lot of things. I think with any band, there's a lot of turmoil and inner turmoil that you have to deal with. With our band especially, there was a lot of drug addictions problems early on. There was member changes early on. All of those things were something that we had to live through, and because we lived through those, I think it's made us better people now, and a better band by far than what we were back then. I mean, this is, right now, Shinedown is the healthiest and happiest it's ever been. But you have to go through those things to get there, and we've had a lot of those type of setbacks. We've had, and even on the business side, we've had the labels go through major changes. Atlantic went through tons of changes when we first started out, and half the people we knew on the staff were fired, and the new people didn't get us, and you go through all those things, but if you keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting, you hopefully come out on top. What about you?
I mean, I think just like you said in the beginning, the drug addictions were me coming into this band. I came into a fully formed band with their own problems. So it was like me, who's like, yeah, guys, band, we're going to be on tour. And it's like, oh, shit, half of you guys hate each other. It's like, and that's what I came into. And that was a problem for me because I think, you know, it's no mystery to most people. And we've talked about it, and we did some pretty deep interviews about this record. Barry and I are the emotionally stable ones in the band. So for me to come in and kind of be there, it was like, holding ground and planting my feet in the sand was really hard at that time, but I did it, and it worked out in the long run. But there was a lot of days I just wanted to fall down and give up, man, and it was hard. But now, as a band, I think all those kind of messed up times made us who we are today, and it's a lot easier for us to get along now, and we respect each other more as people now. And I think once you respect each other as adults and as people, it makes it a lot easier, and that's part of growing up, you know.
And did these experiences maybe also influence your musical style over the years?
Oh yeah, because I mean, playing together, like I always said about this band, there's bands full of band guys, and that not taken away from any band, and there's bands of musicians, and I think this is a band of musicians. You know, I think musicians can go play with anybody they want, and band guys can play with their band. And you know what I've always loved about our band is whether it's Brent, Eric, Barry, or myself, we can go play with Lamb of God on Thursday, with Prince on Friday, and you know, play an acoustic show on Saturday. And that dynamic of musicianship makes us a better band than we once were. You know, I mean, I think that's, and touring too. We tour a lot, and you know, we love playing our instruments. It's like they're not just tools for us. You know what I mean? Like, he loves drums more than anybody I've ever seen. You know, he's a grown man who people look up to as a drummer, and still takes drum lessons. I still take guitar lessons because it's never over. You know, that cycle. So you can always be better. So that, for me, that's what it.
Where do you get the time for all this?
What time? There's time for nothing. We never sleep ever. You make the time. You do. There's a lot of our days, you know, we do a lot of interviews and things like this, but our days are so up and down. We'll do interviews back to back, and then we'll have an hour to do nothing. And you kill what you do in that hour is practice, or work on website stuff for the band, or you call home. Those type of things. You just make the time, and it's not easy. As far as lessons go, you do that when you're home. You do that in the off time. It's very hard to do that out here, but the internet is a wonderful thing. You can do Skype lessons and things like that. And you shouldn't be ashamed to take lessons. There's always something to learn to get better at your craft. There's people out there that can place circles around us, but at the same time, we have something they don't know. That's the cool thing about being an artist and a musician.
I also think, not to ramble on this subject, but I think another part of growing up, going back to the other question, is I think there was a time in this band where we would never admit that other people could play circles around us. You know what I mean? And now, as you grow up, you're like, yeah, that guy can play circles around me, and that's, you know, but you want to be better and you want to learn how to do it. And I think that's part of us as a band growing up is knowing your weaknesses, but also knowing your strengths and where to put them. And I think that's what's made us a better band and better songwriters.
Can you tell something about your daily routine when you're on tour? How are you killing time when you're not staying on stage, rocking the concert hall?
You know, missed bus call, things like that.
Typically, you sleep when you can. It's a late life, so you go to bed 3, 4 in the morning. You're up at 10, 11, 2 in the afternoon if you're Zach. 3 in the afternoon, yes. You get up, find food, find the bathroom, wherever that is, hope that it's clean. Then you look at your press sheet, figure out what you have then, and you work the rest of your schedule around that. There's a sound check that has to be done. You might read a book. You might walk around a cool city. I mean, for us coming over here, being Americans and proud Americans, we just don't have the same history and length of history that you guys have. So to see all this wonderful, beautiful architecture and all the different historical monuments and things like that is great for us. So we'll go visit them and see all this as much as we can, especially on a day off. I mean, a day off in Europe is like we're kids in a candy store. We'll just go and go and go and see all the sights. I enjoy the German beer a lot. I'm a beer nerd, so anytime I can drink a nice German beer, it's a good day.
He looks forward to Europe more than anything else because he's such a beer fan, like any kind of beer. So he loves Germany more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I named my daughter after a beer. That's how much I love beer. So it's important to me.
And Budweiser just turned 1. She's very lovely.
Her name is not Budweiser. Jeez, Stella. Her name is Stella. Stella. Yeah, when I found out that I was going to have a girl, I was on the tour bus, and of course, shock went through my system, and I walk out into the front lounge, and we have a cooler in the front lounge, reach in, grab a beer, I set it on the table, and I look at it, and it happened to be a Stella Artois at the time, and I looked at my wife and said, wouldn't it be fun if we named her Stella? And she went, I kind of like that, and it just stuck. So her name's Stella after the beer. It happens.
Does your wife know?
Oh, she knows.
You'll never know. Recently, there have been quite a lot of debates about the Stop Online Piracy Act in the States and the global copyright situation all over the world. What's your position as a band? Is it really like that you're that much suffering from online piracy, or is it more like the viewpoint of the labels?
I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah, definitely it's a viewpoint of the labels. They've lost a ton of money because of internet piracy. I mean, billions of dollars. At the same time, we have too. It's hard to be a band nowadays. We're lucky that we've been around as long as we have, and we got in right when the internet thing was really starting to happen, as far as people stealing music. But you got to remember, it's still stealing. The youth today don't really understand that because that's what they grew up with. They're able to go on the internet and get whatever they want and listen to it. But it's stealing, and that's the only way we're able to pay our mortgages is by selling that product that we have. And yes, it's art, and art should be for everybody, and all those types of arguments. I'm not sure what the answer is. I'm not sure that this program that they're trying to implement is the answer because it's pretty harsh. But there should be something to where we're paid a fair wage for that, you know. And I'm not saying we need to be millionaires. I never got in this to be a millionaire. However, it'd be nice to get paid for what we do, and we don't get paid for that when you steal a song.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the SOPA Act to me was, on Barry's side, I'm like, I don't. People will always be downloading music for free. It's always going to happen. And movies, have I ever done it? Honestly, I can say no. I like buying music. To me, if you know, and it's not because it's a little bit because I want to support, but I like buying music. I feel better when I buy it. I've never illegally downloaded one song in my life, but at the same time, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like being asked, like, have you ever drank water or tried cocaine? But it's one answer. You can only answer once. You know what I mean? It's like a trick question, honestly, because what happens is on the other side of it, you have these part of SOPA is the government getting involved in the internet. So reading everything that you do, even if it's not piracy, if you're not legally, I mean, like involving in your Facebook and your Twitter, and that part I disagree with. I 100% disagree with, but there has to be some sort of compromise with the downloading, I think. And, we're not going to, other musicians have definitely stood out and said certain things, but, they're going to do what they're going to do, but there should be some sort of compromise, or, the FCC and whoever is putting this bill together, the government should come where both sides, if you're going to do it, pay like a fee or something, and then spread that out amongst the people who, and I think that's just what needs to happen. I think we definitely need to get paid something or make some sort of money off of it, but at the same time, our music is getting out there, so it's like, it sucks. It's like it's a crappy situation because both sides are, who's wrong?
And do you know about the copyright situation in Germany a little bit? We have the GEMA as the label, so to say, that represents and watches over the copyrights and rights generally of an artist. And actually they had, let's say, quite a conflict with YouTube, because they wanted YouTube to pay for each click on a copyrighted video. And YouTube, of course, said no. And since then, a lot of GEMA-protected music videos in Germany are blocked. For example, they're representing your rights here in Germany, and they've blocked here in whole Germany on YouTube your single, for example, Bully. It's not accessible in Germany because they say it's a copyright infringement. What do you think about something like that?
It's tough, It is, but should we get paid for every time somebody clicks on it? No. That's, unfortunately, YouTube now, it's much like Facebook. It's a way to promote yourself. And you have to use that as an artist to get your name out there. We have to have a Facebook. Most companies don't even have a website anymore. They have a Facebook. Same with YouTube. If you're an entertainment type organization, you've got to get your face out there. So I think that's a little harsh. At the same time, it goes back to that. It's a double-edged sword. The internet has changed the game completely, and it's never going to go back to the way it was. And that's unfortunate in some respects, but the companies are still looking to go back the way it was, and they need to somehow figure a different way. There's got to be a system. I think
because, not that, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with either side of this, but I think now because of mobile devices and things like that, people are using YouTube like iTunes. You can go and listen, instead of, they won't watch the video at all, they'll just listen to the song, and that's almost like downloading a song, but you're getting it for free. So, do I understand it? Yes. Do I have to agree with it? You're always on the fence about it.
If you asked about 3 things in your life you have seen or done that most other people probably have not, what would it be?
3 things. One big one for me was when we went to Kuwait and Iraq to visit the troops. Not only was that an amazing experience, this was in 2005, so it was in the middle of the Iraq war. And we flew in on military aircraft, full armed guards with 50 cows loaded on Chinook helicopters. Got to ride in Blackhawks. These military planes that very few people get to ride in. So that was really cool. And to see the country and to be in Iraq and go to Fallujah and Al-Assad and Takadam that's something most people aren't going to do in their life. Playing these festivals over here in Europe where there's 100,000 people, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, to stand on stage in front of 100,000 people and play music is amazing. To stand on stage and play in front of 2 people is amazing. And most people don't get to do that. And to say that I've made a career out of making music, most people can't say that either. So those are probably my 3.
Yeah, my first one would be his last one. I think I was talking about, I wrote a blog last night and just saying that I get to play music with my 3 best friends, and the only thing in the world that we're obligated to do to take care of our families and ourselves is what we love. And that is crazy to me. I mean, like, it gives me chills thinking about it. Like the fact that me and my friends, all we have to do to take care of our families is what we would want to do anyway for free. And that's my number 1. Number 2, I got to be in the car when we were the Second Chance was the last song that Casey Kasem ever signed off to, who's a big American DJ, like one of the biggest American DJs of all time.
We grew up with his
Yeah, I mean, like Saturday mornings you get in the car with your parents to go shopping or whatever. That was like, he was the voice, the top 40 countdown. And Second Chance was number 1, and that was the last song he signed off to. So to me, that was a big deal. And then thirdly, just playing. I mean, I've gotten to play with, like, you know, for me, Buddy Guy and BB King are like, I come from a blues background, so getting to play with those two guys were, you know, not a lot of people have done that, and for me that's a pretty big deal.
So, generally, what's up next for the band, besides your new album coming soon?
What's next for us? Touring, a little bit more touring, sleep, touring. Only once.
We'll take Christmas off.
Yeah, we'll take Christmas off. Yes. No, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be touring under the new album. We'll be doing some TV shows back in the States, I know. Doing TV here, too. Doing some TV here, yeah, that's right. Rocket Blast, yeah. So you'll see us again quite a bit, hopefully. And we'd like to get to the rest of the world. We haven't been to Asia yet. We haven't been to Central and South America. These are places we really want to get to as well. So we want to just broaden the brand Shinedown and get bigger and get more fans and keep doing what we love, because we're blessed to be able to do this.
Yeah, I'm with him. I think that says it all. We're not going to be doing much else, so there's not anything I can add. We're going to be touring. We'll take Christmas. We'll take Christmas off, and then we'll tour again, and then we'll take the next Christmas off, and then we'll probably keep touring.
Okay. Sounds great. Sounds exhausting. Okay, then thanks for taking the time for the interview. All the best for the show tonight, and would you mind saying a few final greetings to the fans out there?
Yeah. My name is my Metal Trails to you. This is Zach.
Barry.
And you're watching Metal Trails. Thank you guys very much for having us, and we hope to see you soon.
Stay tuned. Bye.